We have all of your TCG exclusives and imports for Burst Protocol. Later this afternoon, Kongs is going to be having pre-sales available for Burst Protocol, and discount code MCO40 is going to save you on your purchase. This set is looking very, very top-heavy in the secret rare department, so I am going to be very curious to see where prices are. I'll leave a link down below so you can be ready today. So you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So starting off here, we have Mechanical Mechanic, and this is going to be when an attack is declared involving your other machine monster, you can increase or decrease the level of that monster you control by 1. You can only use each of the following effects of Mechanical Mechanic once per turn. If a card is in the field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand and then target a face-up spell trap card you control, destroy it, and if you do, add a wind machine monster with 0 attack from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except for machine monsters. Interesting. Then we have the Jade Dragon Mech. I'm actually kind of excited about this. It's a tuner plus a non-tuner. If this card is special summon, you can send a machine tuner from the deck to the graveyard, and if you control a monster whose current level is different from its original level, you can special summon it instead. You can only use this effect of Jade Dragon Mech once a turn, and if if the sync or summon card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can manage any number of tuners in your graveyard and target that many cards on the field and destroy them. Actually has some pretty good, decent application. Next up is the Mischief of the Wolves. Apply these effects in sequence. Reduce the level of all monsters your opponent controls by 2. And then increase level of all monsters you control by 2. And then during your main phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can target one face-up card you control, destroy it. And if you do, add this card to your hand. And you'll use this effect of Mischief of the Wolves once per turn. Interesting level modifier that we've got here. Next up is Mercurium, the Living Quicksilver, which is the 2 level 10 plus monsters. On Exceed Summon, you can attach any monster from your deck to this card as material, which is already being broken. And then you can only use that effect of this card's name once per turn. And while this card has material, your opponent can activate the effects of monsters in the graveyard with the same attribute as a monster in your graveyard. And once per turn during the end phase, detach a material from this card or take 3,000 life points. Mercurium has definitely become one of the cornerstones of TCG innovation right now. And then we have Vanika, the Fountain Spirit. If a level 10 monsters is sent to the graveyard, except for this card, except during damage step, you can also summon this card from the graveyard if it was there when the monster was sent, or hand even if not, in defense position, but banish it when it leaves the field. And then you can target a level 10 monster in your graveyard, special summon it to your opponent's field, but negate its effects, and then draw a card. You can only use each effect of the Fountain Spirit once per turn. This card is definitely going to catch some attention. And then we have Reign of Frogs. If you control an Aqua monster with 2,000 or more attack, send all monsters on the field to the graveyard except for Aqua monsters. If this set card is destroyed by a card effect, you can set this card. And you can only use each effect of Reign of Frogs once per turn. I don't know why we got a board wipe for frogs, of all things, but this was definitely some of the better, interesting support that we could come up with, for sure. And then we have the Flux Oakensenfield. This is a new fusion monster. It's a level 5 or higher earth monster plus a rock monster. If this card is fusion summoned, you can also summon a rock monster from your hand or graveyard, except for Flux. And then quick effect, you can target an earth monster you control and one card your opponent controls and return them to the hand. You can only use each effect of Flux once per turn and cannot activate more than one in the same chain. That's definitely interesting. I like getting some rock revival with this. And then we have this Shipping Archfiend. You can target any number of face-up monsters on the field and declare a type or attribute. They become that type or attribute. And if a monster is a special summon to your opponent's field while this card is in your monster zone, except during damage step, you can target one monster each on the field with the same type and attribute as each other and return them to the hand. That's kind of cute. We actually have a little Love Archfiend here. Now, this is a Wind Fiend monster, which is definitely some of the most interesting design space I think I've seen here. We've also got the Stormbane Dragon Distorbium. This is a tuner plus a non-tuner. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, and you can only use each of the following effects of Distorbium once per turn. So you can banish any number of dark monsters from your graveyard that cannot be normal summoner set. Banish them, and then banish as many cards your opponent controls. So basically, get some field control with this. And then quick effect, If your opponent controls more cards than you do, if this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon one of your banished dragon monsters. This feels like Jack Atlas support. And then we have GMX Researcher Solandi. This is the on normal. You can special summon a non-warrior GMX or a level 3 or lower dinosaur monster from the deck, which is going to be pretty good. And special summon by a monster effect, you get to add a GMX spell and trap card from your deck to your hand. And if a dinosaur fusion monster is on the field, you can shuffle this card from the field back into the deck to negate the effects of a face-up card on the field. It's actually not too bad. And then, of course, we do have Chairman Kimridge, which we can reveal is in the hand to add a GMX Applied Experiment 55 from the deck or graveyard to the hand, which was the fusion spell. If you do, shuffle this back into the deck. If this card is special summoned by a monster effect, and target 2 cards in the graveyard that are GMX and or Dinosaur, and place them on the top of the deck in any order, and then destroy an attack position monster your opponent controls. That will actually be pretty decent when we actually kind of get a little bit further into the additional Wave 2. And then we have Associate Noma. If this card is special summoned by a monster effect, target a card each from your graveyard and your opponent's graveyard and place them each on the top or the bottom. And if a monster is normal or special summoned to your opponent's field while this card is in your monster zone, except during damage step, you get to fusion summon a GMX Fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from the field, graveyard, or banishment into the deck. And I can only use each effect of Associate Noma once per turn. But I mean, they have a 900, 1300 stat line, which isn't too crazy. And then we have Dino Dandine. So this is going to be the, it's still a GMX, well, it's not a GMX card, but it's a GMX supporter. Especially by monster effect, you can add a GMX monster from your deck to your hand. And then during your main phase, you can fusion summon a dinosaur fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from the hand or field. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can make all dinosaur monsters you currently control gain 400 attack. I wish we had a easier to make dinosaur fusion monster that wasn't GMX locked. And then we have GMX Alos. It's a GMX monster plus a dinosaur. Each time your opponent normal or special summons a monsters gain 200 life points. So, interesting refund cost here. You can only use each of the following effects of Alos once per turn, so you can target a GMX or a dinosaur monster in your graveyard or banishment, special summon it. Oh, that's always going to be free, but this thing cannot attack the turn this effect is activated. And at the start of damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy that monster. Actually, not terrible. And then we had Velox. Velox, same thing. It's a GMX monster plus a dinosaur. Each time your opponent normal or special summons monster, gain 200 life. During the opponent's turn quick effect, you can target a card your opponent controls, excavate top cards from the deck until you active or excavate a GMX or a dinosaur monster. Lose 400 life points for each card excavated, and then add that GMX or dinosaur monster to your hand or special summon, and then shuffle the rest into the deck. After that, destroy the targeted card. So, I mean, it's kind of good. And then Applied Experiment 55, the Self-TK card, as we're going to call this. Excavate top cards of your deck until you find an excavated GMX monster and a dinosaur monster. Lose 400 life points for each excavated card, and then you can fusion summon a GMX Fusion monster from your extra deck using the excavated monsters as material, and then shuffle the rest into the deck. Now, you can only activate one GMX Applied Experiment 55 per turn, but this can actually end games very, very, very suddenly. And then we have the Pesenta, the Titan of Troubadours, an aberrant being that manifests in response to devout prayers. The lyrics it recites are said to foretell the future, but they are mysterious and incomprehensible to most. This is your 2500 vanilla monster of the block, and I don't think many people are going to really see how fun this is going to be. But this is the first Illusion normal monster that's level 8, so that's really, really cool. And then we have Spenta. Spenta is the discard this to activate one of these effects. You can either add a Magistus monster from your deck to your hand, except for Spenta, the Magistus Sealer. And then your second effect, you can have the attack of a monster your opponent controls for the rest of this turn, which is not bad. We can also banish them in the graveyard to target a face-up monster you control and equip a Magistus monster from your extra deck or graveyard as an equip spell to it. This card, being a secret rare, is very, very, very interesting. We'll see long-term, though. And then we did get the Conduction Warrior Linear Magnus Minus. I'm glad to see they did import this, but this can't be a normal summoner set. Must be first special summon from the hand by sending 2 Magnet Warrior monsters whose original level is 4 or lower from the hand deck or face up in the field of the graveyard. You can only special summon one of these once per turn this way. And then you can target one other Earth Machine monster in the field. This card gains half of the original attack until the end of this turn. And this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard. Add it to your hand. So you do get recurability back on this, but I'm actually surprised we got this ported over. And then we have Invoked Magistus Omega Alistair plus a Fusion Synchro Exceed or a Link monster. On special summon, you can target a Fusion Synchro Exceed or Link monster in your graveyard or in a monster on the field and banish them. If this Fusion summon card is destroyed by battle card effect, you can special summon a level 4 spellcaster from the deck, and then you can equip this card to it as an equip spell that gives 1,000 attack. Really, really glad we finally got this. And then number 101 is actually going to be the Stardust Dragon Assault Mode alt art, which, with the new Assault Mode stuff, is actually going to make this card a collector's piece out of the set. Actually, this Starlight Rare looks absolutely gorgeous, and I am actually super excited to see this, coming down for this set. So what do you guys think about this set? Please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in day, guys. Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.